Hello and welcome to Lesson 33, pages 230 and 231. This is the song titled Brahms Lullaby in our Level 1 book. And this may be a melody or song that you're familiar with. And students, this song is kind of a big test of everything we've been reviewing in the last couple of songs. Our dynamic markings, our retardandos, and then we also have a lot of slurs in this song that we're going to talk about. And these create little musical phrases, which is another word that you might hear your teachers use sometimes. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. So let's start by reviewing our dynamic markings in this song. So the first one shows up right here, and it is piano. And piano, means to play soft. So we'll write the word soft right here so we can remember soft. And that continues until we see our next dynamic marking. So let's keep moving in the song. And look, okay, here's one. This is forte, and it means to play loud. So forte is loud. So I can write the word loud up here so we remember to start loud in measure 9. Okay? And then we're going to keep moving through our song. And hey, right here at the end of measure 12, it wants us to start mezzo forte, which is a medium loud. I'll put M loud here so you know that. And then in measure 14, we have our mezzo piano. So remember, that's a medium piano, medium soft. And then we have two P's at the end. This one is pianissimo, which means very soft or very quiet. Very soft. Okay, so there's all of our dynamic markings in the song. Very soft, okay. And now let's take a look at some of these slurs. So what is a slur? A slur, really they're just these lines right here in our song, but they create what's called little musical phrases because a slur connects notes together. So it doesn't mean that we connect them like we're playing them at the same time. Not like that. It means that there isn't any space between the notes. That's what the composer wants. And that makes the music kind of sound like it has different sections, or like it's like starting and stopping a sentence. Like if I said, hello, my name is Mr. John. That sounded a certain way, but I could also say it, hello, my name is Mr. John, right? That was all at once. There's lots of different ways that we can phrase the way we speak. It's similar to the way that the music is playing. It's like, think of these as each little individual musical sentences that are happening, okay? So some of the sentences can be short and have little pauses. So if we compare it to my little sentence, if I said, let's say this is, hello, my name is Mr. John, would be this section here. So the music is going to sound that way. We have at the beginning of the song, B, B, D, pause. Right? So the notes that have a slur should have no space in between them. So this first one is a B to a D. Right? If I had space, it would sound like this. But here's no space. So how you achieve that, students, is as you're letting go of one key, you're pressing down the next one as you're letting go. So it's almost like a seesaw motion. So B, B, D connected, B, B, D connected, then look, space. This is all connected, and then a quick space before E and D, okay? It can take a long time to master these, but it does give the song a certain sound. Just like if we change the way that we speak, we can change our where we pause in our sentences and where we pause when we speak. Just think of these as like little pause moments where it's not a long pause, right? Because we want to keep a steady beat, but it is long enough so that some of these parts sound connected and some of them sound disconnected, like right here. Okay, great. I'm so glad we reviewed those. And there's slurs all over the song. The last thing that's going to show up here is our retardando, which happens in measure 15. And that means to slow down to the end of the song. I'm going to keep our dynamic markings up there so we know where they are. And now let's practice with which notes are going to be where in our hand. So finger 2 here in the left hand, 1, 2 is going to be on B. And the other notes we're going to use in the left hand include A, finger 3 down here, and also G. So we have B, A, and G. Very good. And the right hand we have, starting in measure 1, it says finger 2 is on a D. Okay, so let's put finger 1, 2 on D. So that means our thumb is sharing C. Both thumbs are actually going to be playing middle C in this song. The left hand does it first. So we're going to play it with our warm-up using the left hand. All right, so all of our note students, we have G, A, B, C I'm going to use with the left hand for now. And then we have D, E, and then we actually don't have F natural in this song. We have F sharp with finger 4, but I'm going to rest my finger probably on regular F, but when I need to play it, I'll reach up with finger 4 to play F sharp, and we have G. So again, that's G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. Let's go ahead and play all of these notes from left to right, starting on G all the way up to our top G in the right hand, okay? So we're just going to do left to right, nice and slow. Another way to practice this would be to play 5 or 10 times in a row with each note, saying it out loud. But let's just do one at a time. 1, 2, here we go. Play G, finger 4. Now let's play A. Moving to B. And now C with our left hand thumb I'm going to use. And now D, finger 2. And E. And F sharp. And finally G. Very nice. Okay, we've played all of the notes that we're going to need. I just realized that my mezzo piano here needs to cross here. It said medium sort. It's supposed to be medium soft, of course. Okay, so back to our song. We're going to separate this song into little phrases. I use that word, like our little musical sentences like this. So we're going to do the first half of the fourth measure to get into the song. There is a pickup here as well, and that means that we actually come in on beat 3 because we're in 3/4 time. So remember, if this is beat 1, we only have one beat back here. So beat 3 is where we start, and we do B, B, D, right? So one last thing I want to talk about is this rhythm right here. It says seesaw. So these are what eighth notes look like. This little thing coming off of it is called a flag. So it's just like one of these eighth notes by itself. It's what they look like when they're on their own. So usually in music on the staff, we don't connect the beams between the bass clef and the treble clef, although you may see that in some music. So what they're doing here is just writing them separately, but it still sounds just like a running note. So running, hold for 2, running, hold for 2, running, walk, walk, walk. That's what's happening here, okay? So it's still exactly the same. It just looks a little different, but this is still running right there. Running, walk, 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 all right? Okay, well, let's go ahead and play through these notes. Starts with 2 B's. So we have B, B, D. All right, let's do it really slow together. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Play B, 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 then D. D for 2. Same thing. B, B, D for 2. Okay, then B, D. Now G in the right hand, finger 5. G, F sharp, and E, and now another E in measure 4, E, and then D. Okay, this time we're going to play through it and focus on the phrases. So let's do that one more time, and I'm going to tell you when to lift your finger and when not. And we're going to kind of exaggerate it, so do it more than that we would actually do it when we're playing the song, just so you can really hear the different sections and when we're supposed to have fingers more connected and when they should be more apart, okay? So what we're going to do is go ahead and play a B in our left hand on 3, 1, 2, 3, B. Okay, now I want you to lift your finger off of B. Good. And now play a B again. 1, 2, 3. B. And now when you move to this D on 3, I want you to do just like we talked about. You're lifting the B, and as you're lifting that B, you're playing the D because I don't want any space, okay? So hold that B again, and 1, 2, 3. D. So again, that phrase should sound like... Makes sense? Try that on 3. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go B, B, D, So remember, if I sang it, sometimes it's easier to hear. B, B, D. Here, there was no space between the D. Let's do 2 of those in a row on 3, actually. 1, 2, 3. B, B, D. Another one. For 2. Good. The next section we're going to do. There's no space, okay? So the second half of measure 2. 1, 2, go. B, D, G, F sharp, E. And then there is space between measure 3 and measure 4, and we play E, D. So here's how that sounds, measure 3 and 4. Space. Okay, now let's try the first 4 measures at a steady beat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and hold for 2, for 2. Space. And there would be space after measure 4. Very good. A lot to think about, a lot to practice with our phrasing. And don't worry, we're going to get it in time. Just go very slowly. Okay, starting now, we're going to go from measure 5 to about the first half of measure 8. Okay, so we start with our notes. Let's go ahead and play through them nice and slowly together. Let's get our hand position set up. So we're starting now with our first A. We have A, B, C, A, B, C. Oops, I went too high on that G. So F sharp, E, D, F sharp, and then we're gonna land on a B and G. But let's play through the notes one at a time, okay? Start with an A, and then now a B, finger 2. Now a C, we're in measure 5, back to A, and then there's a pause here, pause, and then A, B, C, 4-2, and then a quick pause, and then A, now C, C, move to measure 7, it's F sharp, no space yet, E, then a D, D, F sharp walk note, still no space. And now you're going to play G in the right hand with finger 5, B in the left hand with finger 2. If you had trouble getting there, let's find those notes really quick. Go ahead and play a G. And now go play a B with the left hand. And let's do it at the same time on 3. 1, 2, 3. Together. Very good. All right, now let's try that nice and slow at a steady beat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Space. Hold for 2. Space. Together for 2 and off. It might take you a while to get that speed up, and that is okay. Just keep practicing those notes one at a time. All right. Keeping it moving, we're going to do the last little part of measure 8 here, all the way up to the first half of measure 12. All right, starting with the notes G, we play 2 Gs, but look, now we have hands together. But what I want you to notice is, after you play the G hand together here, you have to, and C in the left hand, you have to play E, C with the right hand. So you have to move the left hand thumb out of the way. So it's hold for 2 in measure 9, then E, C. Isn't that strange? For 2, E, C. That's going to be pretty tricky. And then we land on B and D. So I think the best way for us to practice this is to do some hands separate practice. So right now, we're going to ignore the left hand. I'm going to cross it all out. And we're only going to look at the right hand. Now this is going to cause us to skip some beats in the measure, but I just want you to get comfortable practicing which which note we should play when. So we're going to start at the beginning of measure 9. There's 3 beats there, so I'm going to draw in some rests. So technically there'd be a rest here after this D, and technically it'd be a rest here. So here we're in the right hand, we're going to do rest, rest, D, E, D for 2. Okay? But let's do right hand only in measure 9. Okay? 1, 2, here we go. G for 2. E, C, D for 2. Rest, rest. D, E, D for 2. Very nice. And now we're going to go back and do the left hand only. So let me erase all these. And is there any pauses in the left hand? Yes, there would be one rest right here because the right hand is playing by itself. Other than that, the left hand keeps playing. Okay, we're starting with G, G, C for 2, rest. B for 2, B, G, C, rest, rest. Okay, so actually 2 rests here as well. Not the cleanest rests, but there we go. All right, and now let's get ready to do the left hand only for measures. Last part of measure 8 there, and then all the way through measure 12. 1, 2, left hand, go. G, G, C for 2, rest. B for 2, B, G, C, rest, rest. B for 2. So just remember, students, anywhere that there's space, you're going to want to have a quick break in the music between those slurs, okay? So it sounds like a different sentence starting and stopping. All right, and now we're going to try to put those hands together nice and slow. So let's get our hands on the piano, and we're going to play G, G. So 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2, and G, G. Now G and C together. I'm kind of slowing us down. G and C together. Now we're going to play E, C in the right hand. E, C, and then finger 2s play B and D together. Together for 2. Then we have a quick pause because the phrase stops. And now we're going to play B, G. Ready, go. B, G. Now C, C, D, E. Now finger 2s on B and D for 2. Here's how that sounds at a steady beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. For 2. For 2. For 2. Excellent. All right, so practice that nice and slow. If you can get it up to the steady beat, great. If you can't yet in your first practice session, that's no big deal. This song's going to take a lot to complete. All right, so looking at the end of our song, we're going to go from the last part of measure 12 here to the end. And I want you to notice that it does the same thing as before. We do the G, G, and it's C and G together for 2, then E, C, B, which is exactly what we played before, but this section is new. We have notice I slowed down and got quieter for the end of the song because we have mezzo piano or a medium soft, and then our G we land on pianissimo. So let's play those notes. Play a B on 3, 1, 2, 3, B, and then it's a G, 1, 2, 3, G. Now middle C with the left hand, 1, 2, 3. B with the left hand, 1, 2, 3. Now A, 1, 2, 3. And finally a G, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's try that at a very slow, steady beat, and then we'll get our first full performance of this song. Here we go. Last part of measure 12 there to the end. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. For 2, E, C, finger 2s together. Really quiet. Pianissimo. Okay. Excellent work. I'm going to erase everything off our screen here so we can just focus on this music. Now, students, there's so many elements that we've talked about in this song, the different phrases, and when we're kind of having these little light pauses in between, so it sounds like different sentences are starting and stopping in the music. There is dynamic markings you're going to have to master. New rhythmic marking here where we have just 2 regular eighth notes, but remember it sounds like a running note. And you have your ritardando at the end of the song, so lots and lots to focus on. So this song will take time to get all the parts. You're probably not going to master it in one practice session, okay? So be patient. It will come. Work on one skill at a time. All right, and when you're ready, you can come back to this full performance. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, starting quiet. Hold for 2. Hold for 2. Hold for 2. For 2. Forte. For 2. Hold now slightly quieter. For 2. Hold for 2. Now slow down. And now pianissimo. Okay, students, excellent work on Brahms Lullaby, a difficult song, but I know you will master it in no time, and I will see you then on the next song.